Coverage of Criminal Law 1. Articles 1 to 2. Preliminary title, date of effectiveness and application of the provisions of this code, RPC. Articles 3 to 15, Title 1, Felonies and circumstances which affect criminal liability. Articles 16 to 20, Title 2, Persons criminally liable for felonies. Articles 21 to 88, Title 3, Penalties. Articles 89 to 99, Title 4, Extinction of criminal liability. Articles 100 to 113, Title 5, Civil liability. Definition of criminal law. It is that branch of law which defines crimes, treats of their nature, and provides for their punishment. Types of crimes. Felony, punishable by the Revised Penal Code.
Offense, punishable by special laws.
Infraction, punishable by city or municipal ordinance.
Sources of criminal law.
Spanish Código Penal.
Revised Penal Code, Act No. 3815, enacted December 8, 1930, and took effect on January 1, 1932.
Special penal laws, Commonwealth Acts, Republic Acts, Presidential Decrees, Executive Orders, and Batas Pambansa. Power to define and punish act as crime. This power is vested upon the legislative branch of government. In many instances in our history, however, this power was also exercised by the executive branch. Thus, we have Commonwealth Acts, Presidential Decrees, and Executive Orders. Limitations on power to enact penal laws. Penal laws must be general in application.
Penal laws must not partake the nature of an ex post facto law, 1, that punishes an act or omission done before the effectivity date of the law.
Penal laws must not partake the nature of a bill of attainder, one which punishes without the benefit of due process. Penal laws must not impose cruel and unusual punishment, nor excessive fines. Characteristics of criminal law. Generality.
Territoriality. Prospectivity.
Generality. It means that the criminal law of the country governs all persons within the country regardless of their race, belief, sex, or creed.
It is subject to certain exceptions by international agreement.
Exceptions to generality. Effect of exceptions. Persons covered are immune from criminal prosecution.
These persons include 1. Heads of states, 2. Ambassadors, and 3. Other diplomatic officials.
Territoriality. Penal laws of the country have force and effect only within its territory.
It is subject to certain exceptions by international agreements and practice, meaning penal laws may apply outside of its territory.
Composition of territory. Territorial jurisdiction, the jurisdiction exercised of a country over bodies of land, defined in the Constitution.
Fluvial jurisdiction, the jurisdiction over maritime and interior waters.
Aerial jurisdiction, the jurisdiction over the atmosphere. Exceptions to territoriality. This is taken up in Article 2 of the Revised Penal Code. Prospectivity. It means that acts or omissions will only be subject to a penal law if they are committed after a penal law had already taken effect.
It is subject to certain exceptions.
Exceptions to prospectivity. Effect: the law may be given retroactive effect, that is, the new law may apply to those persons covered under the old law, provided the following are present.
The new law is favorable to the offender.
The offender is not a habitual delinquent, and
there is no provision in the new law against its retroactive application.
Philosophies underlying criminal law system. Classical or juristic philosophy.
Positivist or realistic philosophy.
Eclectic or mixed philosophy. Classical or juristic philosophy. An eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth philosophy.
The purpose of penalty is retribution.
The offender is made to suffer for the wrong he has done.
There is scant regard for the human element of the crime. The law does not look into why the offender committed the crime.
Capital punishment is a product of the school of thought.
Man is regarded as a moral creature who understands right from wrong, so that when he commits a wrong, he must be prepared to accept the punishment therefor.
Positivist or realistic philosophy. The purpose of penalty is reformation.
There is great respect for the human element because the offender is regarded as socially sick who needs treatment, not punishment.
Crimes are regarded as social phenomena which constrain a person to do wrong, although not of his own volition. Eclectic or mixed philosophy. This combines both positivist and classical thinking. Crimes that are economic and social nature should be dealt with in a positivist manner, thus the law is more compassionate. Heinous crimes should be dealt with in a classical manner, thus capital punishment. Mala in se and mala prohibita. Mala in se literally means that the act is inherently evil or bad, or per se wrongful.
Mala prohibita are said to be crimes which become wrong only because a law punishes the same.